coronavirus.
Good old Jabia.
There's been some movement in the corona news recently. America is seeing spikes all over the place. When I say all over, I literally mean all over the place. Various states, blue states, red states, small states, big states, rural areas, cities, suburbs. Now, the one good thing, based on the studies we're seeing, the deaths have not risen to the degrees that the infections have at this point. Now, we know that there's a lag that takes place, but it does seem to be the case that the therapeutics that we're using and the fact that we kind of know a little bit more about the virus, people's chances of surviving when they're hospitalized are much better now than they were back towards the beginning of the pandemic. So that is good news. But other than that,
but you have to worry about crowding in the hospitals as well. So got to make sure you can get in there to get those therapeutics. There's a problem.
True. That said, now look, couple of things. Number one, this is not going anywhere. America is kind of being sold false hope by both sides, I think. So Trump is kind of running this campaign saying that, we're going to have the vaccine and the military is going to pass it out and it's going to be beautiful. It is not going to be beautiful, right? You are not going to get, most of you watching are not going to get a coronavirus vaccine until probably the middle of 2021. And that's being generous. Is what Fauci came out and said recently today during
he said 2022.
No, he said life will probably begin to go back to normal in 2022. But you can get a vaccine, probably the general public, middle to late 2021. So we're going to be wearing masks and socially distancing for, probably like at least an additional year and a half, probably 2 years, being quite honest with you. And so Trump is pushing that lie that the vaccine's coming out and the military is going to be able to distribute it to everybody. Joe Biden, though, is also pushing a lie about vote for me and I'll be able to take care of the virus. France is seeing spikes. They have mask mandates. They socially distance. Why are they seeing spikes?
What? Am I the France correspondent because of my hat?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
My scouting? Yeah.
Why is France seeing spikes?
I mean, okay. So you gotta talk about how they first handled the response in the first place. Like Europe tried to do everyone followed each other's lead. So when Italy closed down, so did France, so did Germany. All of them closed down at the same time. And then England was just like, yo, we Brexit. We do what we want.
Yes.
But after a certain point, these countries aren't cash rich as America is. Their economies weren't built to scale in this pandemic. You know what I mean? So they depended a lot on tourism, a lot on people coming in and out. So they started opening up way faster than anybody else thought they could. You know what I mean? There was people. So
you're saying they opened too soon?
They opened way too soon. There was people already in stadiums in late July. Fans were there. You know what I mean?
What?
I didn't know that.
I mean, I'm team soccer man right now. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see in the corner. But yeah. There was people already there. They already opened. They did a harsh shutdown in the beginning, the first couple months.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we did it. Look at us. We're not America. Open up. And now they
makes sense.
But it also happens the people are tired of it. People are living intergenerational families. That's why Italy was hit so bad. How there's a grandmother, father,
and children all living in the same house.
Yeah. Once the younger generation saw that their grandparents didn't die, they're like, why the fuck I gotta walk in? I want to smoke and play soccer. So Italy is a violent protest are going on all across the country. They're like, we not wearing masks. We playing football and smoking.
Okay. Fair enough. No, I'm with you. And I believe what you're saying.
You can't shut down these countries for this long. It's not realistic.
Well, and that is getting to my larger point. When Joe Biden speaks about how much of a better job he's going to do than Trump, he hasn't really said what he would do differently than what Trump is doing right now.
No, he hasn't. All he's been talking about mainly is making everyone wear masks, which is not really. That's not really. Yeah. I mean, people are wearing masks now. Well, most people, not all people.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. The main thing is that we can't really. We're not going to be able to control this virus. We can't stop it. Only like impede its progress. It's not like we could either have it like run rampant, or we could have it like just run its course as it runs. So I think like the smart way is just like measured social distancing and like opening some things. Like, you know how New York has been doing it. It's been like stages. That's how it should have been like worldwide. But even New York is experiencing, it's going to like, these outbursts are natural. It's a pandemic. Like, it's natural.
Mike's point is what I was going to say. The only way to control this virus.
I mean, I said my point. So.
Control is the wrong word. Control is the wrong word. But to Mike's credit, when he says stages, right? Where you open things up. I think the growth number is anything above 1%, right, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like the percentile.
Like, so
keep it below 1 and it's good.
Okay, so what Cuomo is doing is actually the right approach, which is if you have areas of New York City in which you're testing people and that certain neighborhoods, the positive rate is like 1.5 or 2%, you have to roll back and shut down for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks until you get it back down to 1 or 1 below 1, and then you can open up again. We are going to be in a series of lockdowns and opening up for the next 2.5 years. No one's being honest about it because politically it's not a sexy message.
No.
What? That we're going to be moderately successful at curbing this and people are still going to die? Like, yeah, that's not exactly. That's not the hot message, bro. That's not going to sell no records.
Yeah. And nobody's going to
be selling records on like, yo, we just going to be okay.
Yeah. No one's going to say it, but people need to know that because there was an article written recently about how over in certain places overseas, I think France was one of them. As they enter a second stage of lockdowns, they're actually making not laws, but recommendations. Instead of telling people to quarantine for 14 days, to have it be like 10 or 11 because
that was a problem. Because okay, so this is a side note. I've learned this all because I follow like European football. So every couple of weeks they go on like international breaks where the players go back to their main countries and play around. And this has been horrible for the coronavirus because like they're traveling across borders, they're getting in contact with different groups of people that aren't like in their bubble. And a player was tested positive, and he was next to another player, and he played for my team, Arsenal, number 1. And Scotland wanted the player to wait 14 days before they come back, but then England was like, "You're not just gonna risk us losing all our money for your dumbass rules. Like, he doesn't have coronavirus. He's good. Come back." You know what I mean? Like, so like this power move of just like, we have to let the economy go forward, and like we have to like be able to curb expectations on like quarantine days, on like who's more liable to get the coronavirus, who's more liable to get really sick. Like, we got to curb it. You know what I mean? Like, it's going crazy in Europe, and it's going crazy here. I'm going back to normal. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I've been going to restaurants.
What do you mean back to normal?
I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, what you mean? Like, I can't be like locked up all day. Like,
no. So okay. So go ahead, Shannon. Sorry.
I don't spend my time locked up all day. Like, I go places. I hang out with some friends. I'm not like in my house all day anymore. Like I was back in March. What? But I'm not.
Yeah, same here. What you mean? We're young.
You just have to be responsible. Like, a responsible thing to do is not. Oh my God. First of all, Cuomo doesn't say that I can't go to a restaurant. The restaurants are open for a reason. You just have to be smart and responsible about it. What's not responsible is, so my cousin's having a Halloween party at her house, and I'm like, that's not responsible. I would not be going to that. But there are other things that you can do.
You calling the police or not, Shannon?
No. No, I'm not calling.
Wait, what is that sound effect?
See what I mean?
What? You got the op on you?
Yeah, I got the op on me. She's not Mike. Shannon is putting all of our lives at risk. So she knows her cousin is probably is it a girl?
Yes.
I knew it. So her cousin is going out there putting people's lives at risk. She has a civic duty.
Wait.
I've
been to a house party.
Oh,
there you go, right there.
So none of y'all care.
I'm not saying I don't care. I haven't seen my mom or like old people in time, bro. It's been like months.
See, Mike and Shannon are being very irresponsible right now.
What am I doing? I'm not going to her party.
No, but you know she's having it.
I
so you want me to snitch?
Yes.
Pull up. What's up? Yo, come on, bro. Yo.
No, look. Shoot.
Okay, we gotta get used to like socialization in the Corona time. You know what I mean?
Totally agree with you.
Like we can't just like expect people to just like not get together for a year.
No, I'm with you. Mm-hmm. But we also have to be honest.
Get together, a little party, little dance. It ain't no vibe. Like,
no, that's
no. But you see, that's different because you're talking about like a lot of people in a tiny apartment, just like breathing and spreading their germs everywhere.
I mean,
I think that you can still get with your friends.
Do they live with like people at risk?
I mean, I don't really think that you should go based off of that because
that's how I live my life.
This is no. This is a very no.
That's how I live my life.
That's a very outdated way of thinking because like it's been proven that you don't have to be old or at risk. Like literally, you can die and you can be very young.
But wait, hold on. That is very true, Shannon. But we should not be like the mainstream media and like just push panic.
I'm not pushing panic.
No, I know. I'm just saying. But statistically speaking, you have like a 98 chance to survive if you catch the coronavirus. So both of you are right. I'm with you, Shannon. I live like Shannon. I think like Mike. Now, here's the thing, though.